On December 26th, in the Cotton Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys met the Detroit Lions for the right to play either Minnesota or San Francisco in the NFC Championship. For the Cowboys and their sometimes fickle fans, it was another chance in a long and checkered history to prove themselves in a big game. Like the years that preceded it, 1970 was a tortured season for Dallas. At one point, their record stood at a dismal 5-4. But after Week 9, they did not lose another game. Today, victory rested on the broad backs of their defense, and that proved enough to defy history. While the Cowboys faced Detroit under perfect conditions, the San Francisco 49ers encountered both a frigid field and the purple snowmen in Minnesota. Unlike Dallas, the 49ers have never been blooded on the battlegrounds of championship competition. Their appointment with destiny has spanned 2 decades and started in a city that never embraced the fire and fury of pro football. For 21 years, the San Francisco 49ers played in a cosmopolitan city where fashion, culture, and chic generated more interest than the fortune and failures of their football team. During their long history, the 49ers never won a championship, but they always displayed a spectacular brand of pro football. From 1963 to 1967, the 49ers were led by head coach Jack Christensen and their offense fueled by quarterback John Brody, number 12. Brody generated a high-scoring attack, liberally sprinkled with genuine stars. Both his receivers were game breakers. There was the tall and willowy ex-hurdle champion Bernie Casey, and there was Dave Parks, considered by many to be the finest receiver in the game. With Brody sharpshooting from any distance, San Francisco became feared by all teams in the NFL's Western Conference. But during the Christensen years, although San Francisco won some games with last-minute heroics, they fell under the immense shadow of the warlords of the West, the Green Bay Packers. The Packers dominated football in the 60s, and after 4 mediocre seasons, Jack Christensen left San Francisco. He was replaced by Dick Nolan, who redecorated the 49ers and made them a competitive football team. Nolan had come from the Dallas Cowboys and brought with him a reservoir of offensive magic that he channeled into winning ways for San Francisco. Nolan kept John Brody as the architect of his offense, but gave him new and faster tools to work with. To blend with the 49ers' air arm, there was Doug Cunningham, a long-range speedster from Mississippi. At receiver, instead of Bernie Casey, there was an escape artist named Dick Witcher. In 1969, the 49ers selected Gene Washington as their first draft choice, and he was an instant star. But the most important change came with the emergence of the 49er defense. For years, it slumbered while the offense sparkled. Under Nolan, defense became the name of the game in San Francisco. The defense bellowed and thundered, pursued and crushed, and came in waves and packs of tacklers. During Nolan's first 2 years, the Packers' championship mantle was inherited by the Los Angeles Rams. But no longer did the 49ers crumble under stiff competition. Finally, they won not only the games they were supposed to win, but some they were not. In 1969, San Francisco knew they were on the edge of excellence. In 1970, they achieved that excellence. And for the first time in 21 years, they had won the West and would play in a championship game. The Dallas Cowboys were born in 1960. Their 11-year history has been rich in excitement, but also rife with disappointment. 3 elements spiced the first decade in Dallas. One was head coach Tom Landry, a man of innovative genius. Another was Don Meredith, the Cowboys' gifted quarterback. The third element was the defense. The defense robbed the poor and ravaged the rich, and over the years it became acknowledged as one of the toughest in football. While the Dallas defense was constructed on the simple principle of destruction, the offense was complex and designed to defeat teams with one swift strike from a variety of formations. The Cowboy offense was a versatile strike force that could run one play like the reverse with 3 different runners coming from 3 different positions. For 9 years, Cowboy setbacks were cast from a small, quick mold because plays were built to explode. During the glory years of the late 60s, the inside running was supplied by the instant acceleration of Don Perkins, number 43. The outside man was Dan Reeves, number 30, a free agent find of meager talents, but who possessed many ways to convert plays into points. But the one element that gave Dallas its personality was speed. It was flat out. It defied pursuit. It changed defenses. It was Bob Hayes. Hayes came to Dallas with an Olympic gold medal, a flashing smile. His impact was immediate. Any foot race became futile. Simple plays he translated into touchdowns. With their high-scoring offense and their stingy defense, Dallas won many games, many conference titles, but never an NFL championship. Much of the credit and most of the blame was directed toward the Cowboys' happy-go-lucky general, Don Meredith. Dallas's postseason history began in 1966, when they lost to the Baltimore Colts in the playoff bowl, 35-3. The next year, Dallas played the Green Bay Packers in the NFL championship game. The Cowboys rebounded from 2 early Packer scores to close within a touchdown at 34-27. Then Dallas was denied a tie when their last-minute bid was drowned in the Packer end zone by Tom Brown. 1967 saw Dallas rebound from frustration by routing the Cleveland Browns 52-14 in the Eastern Conference playoff. In temperatures that reached 15 below, the Cowboys faced Green Bay in a rematch for the NFL title. Dallas led 17-14 in the final quarter, when, with 16 seconds remaining, Bart Starr eased over for the winning score as Dallas was again impaled on Green Bay's victory icicle. In 1968, the Browns beat Meredith and the Cowboys 31-20 in the Eastern Conference playoff. It was a day of mourning for the champion that never was. 1969 would bring a new quarterback, a brilliant rookie, and Dallas would be a team in transition. Before the 1969 season began, Don Meredith retired, and a new era was ushered in by Craig Morton, a strong-armed but untested quarterback. With the succession of Morton, Dallas was just as devastating. With the addition of rookie running back Calvin Hill, the Cowboys possessed the best rushing attack in pro football. Hill was a power speed back in the tradition of Jimmy Brown and was voted the NFL's Rookie of the Year in 1969. Hill was a world-class broad jumper at Yale, and when he joined the pros, he fused his football skills with his track and field talents and forged a unique style of attacking a defense. The defense suffered no letdown in 1969. They were the hardest unit to rush against in the pros and led all football in reaching and wrecking quarterbacks. For most teams, the Cowboys' 11-2-1 season in 1969 would have been considered a success, but that record disguised and left unanswered many questions. The similarity between 1969 and past seasons was startling. Dallas won easily and by large scores over teams they were supposed to beat, but in their only two testing games, they lost. Once they were bested by the powerful Los Angeles Rams, and once they were beaten badly by the Browns. In the 1969 playoff, they met Cleveland again and were destroyed 38-14. All the questions, the nagging doubts, the haunting echoes of the past surfaced anew, and the Dallas Cowboys were stamped losers again. Like past seasons, 1969 had ended dismally, and cynics declared Dallas was dead. But 1970 would prove to everyone that the burial was premature. Dallas fans watched a strategic struggle for each precious point.
They could run it on blue flip just as easy.
And what's he playing? 40 F for?
F49O.
What's he doing?
X on the safety.
Outside?
Yeah, X is going out on the safety, so Sarah comes in and meets it and makes it go outside.
She come right up and hit into me, and then Lily was in the middle, and he just looked around Lily.
Oh, I thought that was Q coming around.
No, that was Jordan.
Defense, come on now. Keep him right there. Don't give him nothing.
Dallas field goal good for 26.
Come on, George. Come on. Get open. Get open. Come on, defense. You're giving up too much ground. You got to stop him. Mike. Get over. IDs, IDs!
Let's go defense, baby! Come on, people!
Come on, hold them, hold them, hold them!
Bob, we get the ball now. We got 2 minutes. That's it. It ain't over yet, Ron. We got to get it and go now. All right, Dean. Big play now. Let's go. Pick it up, Jordan. Just pick it up. Let's go, baby. They got come on, George. Come on. Last play of the game. Come on, Bob. Let's go. Get him, Bob. George, get the lead. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Go. Please.
The Cotton Bowl had turned kind for Tom Landry. Mid-season disaster had bloomed into a title match. Now Minnesota and San Francisco would measure each other to complete that match.
It's a toss. The receive here. Defend this game. Get this win.
Today, Dick Nolan would suffer from his first case of playoff pressure, from the numbing northern chill, and from a defense they call purple poison.
74. Blitz. The blitz inside. Beezer. Johnny! Pass! All right, Bobby, way to hit him, Bobby! Play, baby! Come on, get him! Way to go, D! Way to hit, baby! Way to hit! Looking good!
Score here. That's what we're going to do. We will. Let's go. Put it in there. Put it in. Let's put it away now. Ram it on home, baby. Come on, get on. It's in there. Get it, baby. We got a couple more, baby. We got to get looking for some more. That's
The Cowboys were called front runners, but came back from oblivion to prove their mettle. The 49ers were labeled loser, yet overcame a quarter century of being just that. Today, these two teams will meet for an NFC title, and two others will have 6 months to wonder why.